Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 150 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. That, in and of itself, is something to celebrate today. If you've made it 150 days, or even if you just got started and you've been doing it consistently every day, congratulate yourself, because most people won't. Most people won't do the work. Most people won't even show up, much less do the daily actions and then celebrate the results that they're getting. Because I guarantee if you do something every day, you're going to get results. Even if you don't believe it, if you just do it and give it a chance, you will. So today we are talking about step 6 of the IDEANCE process. The process we came up with in January, and that is C for celebrate. So what the heck are we going to celebrate? I'm going to share a couple of things today. Number one, I like to use a framework to decide who, what, where, when, why, how I'm going to celebrate, right? I use some kind of a framework or structure or tool. So I actually plan to celebrate different steps, different milestones, which we'll have to identify, right? You got to pick what are your milestones between where you are and where you want to be financially, and when will you celebrate? A lot of people will celebrate every $1,000 of debt paid off, or every additional $10,000 of sales, whatever it is for your situation. Decide what it's going to be, pick a milestone, and then make sure that you acknowledge it and celebrate it. Now, how you acknowledge and celebrate things is going to be different for each and every one of us. Sometimes to me, a celebration is just getting to go out to the state park and go for a walk by myself for a couple of hours. Nowadays, to take that time for myself and to pause and relax and be out in nature, that is a incredibly recharging, feel awesome way for me personally to celebrate. But for a lot of people, they might be like, yeah, there's no way in hell I'm going for a couple hour walk in nature as a celebration. Maybe it's different. Whatever it is for you, that's why I encourage you to use some kind of a framework or way or plan. And I do it differently pretty much every time and every month in every area that we're doing. I'll find a different way. How am I going to celebrate? What are different ways to look at planning celebrations? But I guarantee if you don't plan the milestones and plan the celebrations in, you won't do them. And then you get a little burnt out because you're like, I'm doing all this work, but I never pause to appreciate how far I've come. And so to keep us moving forward, keep us going, we're not just going to celebrate when we get to our end goal. Because I don't know, have you ever done that? You've worked really, really hard for a goal, a big thing you wanted, and then you got that thing, and the thrill of it, the dopamine hit that you got, the endorphins and everything that were set off by achieving that huge goal, just fizzled in a few days. I'll give you an example from my personal life. I saved money from the time I was probably 14, 15 years old till I was 17 to buy my dream stereo. Now, back in the day, stereos were like all these different components and mixers and record players. We used to have record players, and then we got we didn't even have CD. Do we have CD? Yeah, we had CD players. So I had a ton of albums, a ton of CDs. I used to love music. I don't really do much with music anymore, which I guess I need to ask myself why and reflect on that sometime, but have never done that. But I used to be huge into different types of music that resonated with me and that I liked. And I saved for like 4 years to buy this stereo so I could have it to take to college with me. And I worked really, really hard every weekend, after school sometimes, in addition to all my extracurricular activities. I was working and saving to buy this stereo. Got the stereo, it arrives. I'm so excited for like a day, maybe 2 days. And then I just was like, okay, now what? What am I going to do now? What's my next goal? And so if you're waiting to get the achievement of the end goal to celebrate, I can promise you the thrill of it won't last long. I know so many business owners that have sold their businesses for multi-millions or hundreds of millions of dollars that think that it's going to be awesome, but they haven't planned for what they're going to do when they sell that business. And so they're super excited and they travel and they do all kinds of fun things for about a month. The longest I've ever heard of lasted about a year before the shine of that rubbed off, and they were like looking for their next thing to do because they didn't get the fulfillment out of that big thing, the big goal, selling their business that they thought they were going to get. So I highly recommend that you decide when, who, what, where, when, why, and how. Why do I like journalistic framework? Because I learned it when I was young, and it fits so many different situations for planning and structuring how we want to do something. And almost everybody knows it and can remember it. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. I think we all learned it in school as we had to write papers and articles and different things. And so You know, who are you going to celebrate with, or who is it going to be? Maybe it's just going to be you, or maybe it's going to involve other people. What are you going to celebrate? What milestone or what point along the way, what progress along the way are you going to celebrate? Where are you going to celebrate it? When are you going to celebrate it? You know, some people set a rule for themselves. Within 24 hours of achieving the milestone, I have to have done my celebration. You can be as rigid or as flexible as you so choose. Why are you going to celebrate it? Because you want to stay motivated and grateful for the progress that you've made so far, so you continue to make progress. And then how are you going to celebrate it? What are you going to do? Maybe you're going to go out to dinner, go out to a nice dinner. Maybe you're going to go to dinner and a show, dinner and a movie. Maybe you're going to go on a weekend trip. Maybe you're going to go to the beach for the day. Whatever it is for you, whatever feels good for you, do it. Now, I'm going to recommend that you don't pick a financially super expensive celebration, right? Until you reach your end goal. And then only wisely, because the whole point of this is to achieve a financial goal or to overcome a financial challenge. If you've got credit card debt and all of a sudden every 2 months or every month you're putting a big celebration on your credit card, you're kind of defeating the purpose. All right, so what are we doing today? We are going to figure out how, who, what, where, when, why, and how we're going to celebrate. We're going to write it in our notebook. I actually did it a little differently. I put what, when, how, and then who will be there, you know, who, where, why, the celebration plan. I say get creative. I always want to get creative and find different ways to test and tweak how I choose to celebrate, right? How I choose to recognize and be appreciative and grateful for the progress I'm making. And then identify the milestone, the type, and the celebration type. So you can plan it and structure it however you want. But I'm going to say plan now so that you're presupposing and pre-framing you're going to achieve your goal and objective, and these are the milestones along the way you're going to hit, so that you will be celebrating along the way to keep you motivated, to keep you supercharged and excited about your progress. All right, any questions? You know what to do. Just ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, give it to you tomorrow.